Do you ever get that feeling? You're right on the edge of something amazing. A promotion, a new relationship, a big move, but instead of excitement, you feel this dread, almost like you're about to get in trouble. Well, today we're going to talk about that. We're going to dive into this really strange, really powerful psychological trap through the story of a woman named Priya. So Priya lands her absolute dream job. We're talking more money, way more interesting work, the whole shebang. But is she celebrating? Nope. She's totally frozen. And in therapy, she finally puts her finger on it. She was about to be more successful than her own father. And for some reason, that felt like stabbing him in the back. I mean, that's the big question, right? It makes no logical sense. Why would we sabotage our own happiness? Why does taking a step forward sometimes feel like you're breaking some kind of invisible, unspoken rule? Well, the answer lies in this powerful force that most of us never even realize is there. A program that got installed a long, long time ago. To really get what's going on with Priya, we have to look under the hood, at the invisible software that's running our lives in the background. It turns out she was waiting for something she never even knew she needed, and that something is called a permission.
So, what on earth is a permission? Think of it like a psychological green light. It's a message, usually from a parent or someone important when we were kids, that basically says, hey, you're allowed to succeed, or it's okay to be happy, or you are totally allowed to be yourself. These messages give us the permission to live our lives. But what happens if you never get them?
This chart right here, it lays out the battle perfectly. On one side, you've got injunctions. These are the invisible no-entry signs we picked up in childhood. Stuff like, don't get too big for your britches, or don't be a burden. And on the other side are the permissions we desperately need, the you may enter signs that tell us it's okay. For a lot of us, those no-entry signs are huge and flashing, while the you may enter signs are just missing. Just take a second and look at this list. Any of these hit home for you? The permission to just rest without feeling lazy, or the permission to have your own needs without feeling like you're a problem for everyone else. Or, like Priya, the permission to succeed, even if it means you outshine someone you love. It's wild, but we can spend our whole adult lives waiting for these without even realizing what we're waiting for. Okay, so let's say you're having a light bulb moment here. You realize you're missing a key permission. It's not like you can just flip a switch, right? This stuff runs deep. So how do you actually install a new update? How do you write your own permission slip to go out and live a bigger life?
Your friends might say, just get over it, or just do it. But it's really not that simple. This programming, it isn't logical, it's emotional. It was wired into us when we were little, when fitting in with our family literally felt like a matter of survival. So when you try to break those old, unwritten rules, it can trigger this deep, primal fear and this incredibly powerful loyalty guilt, like you're betraying your tribe.
This quote, wow, it's from another person, Mira. She was terrified to tell her very traditional family that she was in a same-sex relationship. And that feeling she described that your own happiness will cause someone you love pain, that is the absolute core of what we call breaking free guilt. It's like the emotional guard standing at the gate of your own psychological prison, and it is a very, very convincing guard. All right, so this is where you take back control. This is how you become your own authority figure. First, you have to name it. What's the permission you're missing? For Priya, it was permission to be more successful than my father. Step 2, you actually say it out loud. I give myself permission to succeed. Now, the next part's the hardest. You have to act. You take the job, you have the hard conversation, and listen, the guilt will show up. It's practically guaranteed, but you act anyway. You walk right through it. And every single time you do that and you survive, you're building evidence that the old rule doesn't run your life anymore. And that brings us right back to Priya. So after all this work, she decides she's going to do it. She's going to take the job, even with all that guilt swirling around. And when she did, something completely unexpected happened. She finally tells her father. She's bracing herself, expecting him to be disappointed or hurt, and instead, he says this to her. He gives her the exact permission she had been fighting so hard to give herself. The prison she thought he had locked her in, he just handed her the key. But here's the crazy part. The key was in her pocket the whole time. And that right there is the biggest takeaway of all. The rules, the prohibitions, the guilt, man, they feel so incredibly real. But they're just programming. They are echoes from your past. You are not a little kid anymore, depending on other people for your survival. The door to that prison, it isn't actually locked. It never was.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Think about your own life. The places where you feel stuck, or small, or held back. What permission have you been waiting for someone else to finally give you? And what do you think might happen if you decided today to just give it to yourself?